Okay, how many in this room has saw me speak about council tax, Leeds versus Broadley? I took it out because I thought you all had. Okay, I'll talk to you very briefly about Leeds versus Broadley. It was a case against Leeds City Council against a guy called Mr. Broadley. And what they were trying to do was pursue the landlord for council tax on 5 of his properties. And it was on the basis of to do with statutory periodic tenancies. For those that don't know, a tenancy, unless written otherwise, under tenancy law will go what's called statutory periodic tenancy at the end of a fixed term if it's not terminated or renewed. So the day after the end of contract, it will go into what's called an SPT for short. Because it was in statutory periodic tenancy, Leeds City Council, based on the Superstrike v Rodriguez case, said that's a new tenancy because it's a statutory periodic tenancy. It's now a new tenancy month by month. Under council tax rules, for council tax to be payable, the contract has to be 6 months. And a new tenancy that's running month by month is just 1 month. And therefore, the landlord could become responsible for the council tax. On all 5 of his properties, they pursued him for the council tax, and they went through quite a vigorous court case. And thankfully, because Mr. Broadley, I don't know how he knew to do this, but he was prepared, had in his contract that after the end of the initial fixed term, this contract will continue on a monthly contractual basis until either party terminates in accordance with their rights. So it didn't go into what's called a statutory periodic tenancy, it went into a contractually periodic tenancy and therefore wasn't deemed as a new tenancy, and the council and the Leeds City Council lost their fight. They tried to take it higher and higher and it was thrown out. They didn't get any further. So for the last 2 years, we've been working really hard on 1, changing our contracts to make sure it says contractual thereafter, and 2, working on all of those tenancies that have been on the old contract. So we've got some tenancies that have been in there like 25 years. We've been going a long time on getting them renewed into a new renewal fixed term period so we can add that in, because once it's been in there once, it will continue then for the life of tenancy. So for any of you that haven't got that in your contract, please have a look, check. It's important, not only for council tax regulations, but for many other reasons, because they're relying on that one case with Superstrike v Rodriguez to state that an SPT contract is indeed a new contract. So please check all of your contracts and make sure that's there. Council tax as well, they're looking for many, many ways now to get the money that they believe they're owed. HMOs, any HMO landlords in here? Just the one, it's always you. Oh, and over there, you're selling, you don't count no more. Okay, HMO landlords, they are starting to reband HMOs. Now, this is really, really cruel, in my opinion, to HMO landlords, because you've designed and created something to help with the needs of the private rented sector. Yes, you make a bit more money, but it also comes with a hell of a lot more risk and influence that you guys as landlords need to comply with. But what they're now doing is, if you've given a bathroom or a kitchenette in a room, they're now going around, and instead of it being 1 council tax for the whole building, all 6 rooms are council tax band A. Now, I've got a landlord in Essex who, and in every single HMO, utilities are paid by the landlord. His council tax bill is currently £2,000 per year. It's now £6,000 per year. His contracts state that the bills are all inclusive. He's now not only lost his profit, it's actually costing him to operate that property. Council tax are getting clever. They're trying to find ways of generating some more money. And in the case of Mr. Broadley, the reason why they went after him was because he rented to housing benefit tenants. Housing benefit applicants, or those that are on benefits or students, are exempt from full council tax. So therefore they found a way really of, oh, we could get council tax on all 5 of those. I'll get brownie points if I get that income in. So bear that in mind, please. Any questions on that?